Good morning to you. 23 minutes after 8. You're watching Breakfast Television. We are honored to be joined by the musical director and conductor of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, Otto Tausk. Maestro, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Does that ever get old being called Maestro?
It is. It's very odd. It's very odd being called Maestro, and it makes you feel like there's like a distance to the musicians, which I don't think there should be, actually.
But it's such a historical and
it is very historical. Yeah, it is.
Okay, tell us about this season. It's the 101st season. You guys kick off tomorrow night.
Yeah, we have the first concert of our new century, and we will play the very first symphony by Gustav Mahler, which a Mahler symphony is always a huge event for an orchestra. It's like you climb the Mount Everest with the orchestra, and it shows all the musicians, and actually for the conductor, it's a big challenge to do.
What blows me away is how many different events you put on and how many different pieces of music the orchestra has to learn. Is that tough to tackle one? It's like, we did it, we achieved it, and then, okay, on to the next thing, guys.
Well, it is tough. You go on to the next thing the next week, which you have to be very quick. And but I think it's really important to play a lot of different kinds, different types of music, because we live in a city with a lot of different people, and I think music should be for everybody. So what we do, we play the classics, you know, the Mozart Requiem or the Dvorak New World Symphony, like the masterworks of the classical music. But we also do like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band,
which was incredible.
Yeah, and we accompany movies. Like Casablanca is a movie we will show and play this season.
That's part of this year's lineup.
Part of this year lineup.
And also the Beethoven Fest is coming up.
The Beethoven Fest is coming up, and Beethoven was one of the great composers for the symphony orchestra, and I think one of the, probably the best composer for the symphony orchestra. He made the idea of symphony, so celebrating his 250th birthday, that's it, 250th birthday.
Is that because he composed music for multiple parts? Or what makes what he did so specific to orchestra work?
At the time it was totally new, and he dared to look in new directions. He made the symphony orchestra sound like a symphony orchestra we know today. He made symphonies that stick with the audience forever. It's music that will never disappear. And of course, today we have composers, and some of the pieces are written today will stay with us for a very long time, but you never know for how long. And Beethoven has proved himself to be here forever.
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 Okay, let's talk about your job, Maestro, as the conductor. When we're watching, when we're there at the Orpheum, such a wonderful venue, what are we seeing? What are you doing?
Well, what you're seeing is you're seeing only this bit of what actually goes on, because the most important thing I do is I rehearse with the orchestra.
The training.
Before the concert. And this is also, for me, one of the most exciting moments of the whole process. So working with an orchestra is like trying to be like the coordinating traffic. You know, you're on a big traffic point, and you're the policeman saying, wait, a little bit more, a little bit less, now is your turn. And it's coordinating. But then comes the next thing, which is finding the musical direction that everybody has to go. There can only be one captain. But at the same time, I realize that you have to do it together. So it's not like I tell everybody what to do, but I have to find the inspiration from the musicians as well. So it's a cooperation. You do it together. And this is a process of rehearsals that finally you have the concert. And actually in the concert, you have to trust your colleagues a lot, and maybe even get out of the way as a conductor a little bit. So what the audience experience during a concert is only that little bit of what actually goes on.
Incredible. Finally, who are the toughest to work with? I heard it was the oboe players. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, I'll tell you, it's sometimes the percussion players, because, you know, as a conductor, you're responsible for tempo and rhythm, and if you don't get along with percussion players, you're in trouble.
You need them, right? Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and good luck on this upcoming season. All right, let's check in with Greg Harper. He's up in Squamish Live, joining us to talk about the